A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
This is Gandalf, the 3D printed bird feeder I've been working on. It's a smart bird feeder where birds are welcome to eat at the buffet, but squirrels
Shall not pass!
It all started with a simple goal: keep the birds happy and the squirrels away. But getting there took 6 design iterations, hundreds of hours, a surprising amount of bird footage, and a bird named Kevin. Let me show you how I got here. Version 1 was just a seed box, a Raspberry Pi and a camera. I had it set up to detect motion and start recording when something showed up. It worked, kinda, but the footage was shaky, the detection unreliable, and the camera quality looked like it came from an early 2000s flip phone. Version 2. So I swapped in the wide-angle camera and widened the feeding tray. That change alone brought in a lot more birds, and they clearly appreciated it. Version 3. Now things were getting smarter. I raised the height for more seed storage, added a servo motor to control a little lid, and cut a hole to run the cables through. Version 4. This is where the summer heat started to cause trouble. The feeder was originally printed in PLA, which began warping in the sun. So I reprinted the entire thing in PETG, which can handle the heat better. Rain protection became essential, so I added splash protection for the camera and servo, plus proper mounting holes for easy setup outdoors. Now it was weather resistant, mostly. Version 5. Next came the rainy season, so I introduced a 45-degree internal slope inside the seed container and a drainage hole at the base, so the seeds don't get soggy when it rains. And now, Version 6, the final form. This has Gandalf himself standing tall on the roof, watching over the seeds. The wizard isn't just for looks, his presence deters chaos. Kind of. There's a chimney now to help vent the Raspberry Pi's heat, especially during those surprisingly hot summer days. A narrow slit made from transparent PLA lets me check the seed level without opening the lid, and I increase the overall height to store more seeds so I don't have to refill it as often. It's all 3D printed, tinkered and reworked more times than I would like to admit. Before testing it on actual animals though, I wanted to make sure that it was safe. I tested the servo-powered lid using the most advanced tool available, my finger and a single spaghetto. It happens to be about the same weight and fragility as a bird's leg. Neither got hurt, so I'd say it's safe. The lid isn't a trap, it's just a gentle gatekeeper. Compared to some of my other projects like the sugar launching robot, the electronics are refreshingly simple. There is just a Raspberry Pi, a servo motor, a Raspberry Pi wide-angle camera, and it's powered with a standard Pi power supply. The servo is connected with GPIO and the camera is connected to the CSI port on the Raspberry Pi. And that's basically it. The real magic is in the software. So, how does it know a bird from a squirrel? That's where AI comes in. I used an excellent GitHub repo by Edge Electronics. It's a TensorFlow Lite model trained to classify animals in real time. It's surprisingly efficient. The model runs directly on the Raspberry Pi at about 4 frames per second. Not bad for such a small computer. When a bird is detected, the lid stays open and welcomes the birds to the buffet. When squirrels show up, well, you know what's coming. And the lid swings shut. Originally, I thought I would need hours of footage, labeling every single squirrel frame by hand before implementing the AI. But thanks to the repo, I skipped straight to implementation. It saved me a lot of time. This is where I met Kevin. Kevin is a tiny blue tit who showed up right after I installed version 3. He was weirdly punctual. Same time, every morning he'd show up. Take one seed, and sit on the perch like he was watching the sunrise. Sometimes he just held the seed in his beak for a minute before eating it. Next morning, same thing. Kevin was back, like clockwork. I started looking forward to seeing him. Over time, I've recorded over 20 gigabytes of footage from 3 different cameras and condensed it down to the best moments. Here are a few of my favorite visitors. Birds are surprisingly expressive if you watch them long enough. Some of them like to peck aggressively, some just hang out. One even looked like he was posing for a thumbnail, and some seemed to attack the wildlife cameras I had set up. Sometimes the AI would get it wrong. A bird would trigger the latch. But the funniest part? The birds did not care, like it was playing a minigame. Each problem taught me something. Every false positive was a chance to tweak the threshold or change the lighting. This project was a lot of fun. I learned more about AI, real-time classification, servo control, 3D printing for the outdoors, and yes, bird behavior. If you've been thinking about building your own smart feeder or any AI project, I highly recommend it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just something you can learn from. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for version 7.